Okay, we'll take a look at these runners whilst they're in the yard here for race number 2. Challenge Drilling Handicap. Top weight here is Arcadia Jewel, who has to carry the full 60 kilos today. A winner of 2 races from 7 attempts. Jade McNaught to ride today. Now with Peter Fernie, based locally here in Kalgoorlie. 6th last start at Ascot, when 3 lengths behind Diamond Scene. That was back in October, resuming today. First up record, 2 goes for a previous win. Arcadia Jewel is currently at $5 with Tab Touch. Number 2 is Jared Joseph for Nick Thomas, and Christo Sardalek will carry the 56.5 with Christo's Claim. Finished midfield at Esperance last start on the 19th of February when 5 lengths behind Pro Is Here. Was well back on that occasion. Made up some ground in the straight, but would need to find a couple of lengths here to suggest it could finish in the money. $14 about Jared Joseph. Number 3 is Minor Detail from the Josh Brown stable. Lisa Staples to ride second at Pingrip last Saturday when a length behind Autumn Crisp. Prior to that, 4th behind Scottish Laird at Esperance. Minor Detail is a $6 chance. Number 4 is Talk About You from the Helen Harding stable. Tash Faithful in the saddle. Tash looking for the first 2 on today's Good Friday card. Finished second last start behind Scottish Laird. Was a good run and looks one of the main dangers here at $4.40. Number 5 is Fleur Delacour for Chris Willis and Austin Galati. 6th at Belmont in a Class 3 last start. Drops in class today and looks well weighted. Is your $2.05 favourite with Tab Touch, and rounding out the field is number 6, Vancouver Lad from the Harding stable. Zephyr Johnston Porter to ride, carries the lightweight of 52.5. Beat one home at Esperance last start when 3 lengths behind Scottish Laird. Vancouver Lad, Winkers going on today, is an $11 chance. It's all Fleur Delacour in race number 2 at 2:05. It is your favourite runners making their way over to the 1400 metre start. This is the Challenge Drilling Handicap. It's coming up in 5 minutes' time. Yes, mate. Okay, mate. Yep. Jared Joseph, Talk About You. Absolutely, yes, Marty. Gluten-free, a horse that, of course, won the Campbell Cup on the Goldfields here last year. That was the meeting that was eventually run on the Friday due to fog, and he hadn't won a race since, but was knocking on the door. And, of course, Peter's got this horse ticking over nicely, spending some time in Perth throughout the off-season, or the Kalgoorlie off-season at least. And, yeah, that first run at Pinjarra really put the writing on the wall for Gluten-free, who looks to have resumed in sensational style this preparation. Not really. Fleur Delacour's held the weight of money in the race, in the lead up to the race as well. Arcadia Jewel, I thought, was a pretty good chance in this event, but on the drift out to $5 now. And of the others, Talk About You's been around the money, but a bit of a non-winner. 2 wins from the 41 goes. So punters rather, sticking with Fleur Delacour here in race number 2. Yeah, beautiful, Marty. They had a trial, well, more of a jump out, 2-horse jump out prior to the first, and you could hardly hear the horses go by, mate. It's a lush green, and the staff here have done a fantastic job combined with the rain that we've got, and the Kalgoorlie track is looking sensational. Okay, we're 90 seconds off start time here. Race goers for the running of race number 2. The Challenge Drilling Handicap, 1400 the distance. Runners are behind the line here. They'll start the loading process. Any tick of the clock. Your favourite is Fleur Delacour from the Chris Willis yard. Sends a couple of runners to the Goldfields today. He's got Right to Silence in the next. Chris Willis, who's had success on the Goldfields previously. $1.75 in the next is Right to Silence. And he's got the 205 favourite in Fleur Delacour here in the second. So runners are starting to link along here. Fleur Delacour at 205, and then we've got 3 runners at $5. All Arcadia Jewel, Minor Detail, and Talk About You. $5 each, and then Vancouver Lad 13, Jared Joseph on the drift out to $18. As Talk About You joins the line, here's Fleur Delacour. So just the 3 to load. 3 to load, and Fleur Delacour will jump favourite in the second. Favourite punters home in the first with Gluten Free, Peter Fernie, and Tash Faithful there combining in the first. So here comes Vancouver Lad. Vancouver Lad locked away as Tab Radio join us. Thanks, Marty. Here comes Arcadia Jewel to join the line in the Geisel Park Silks, and the last of the 6 will be Minor Detail, coming off that last start second at Pingrip last Saturday. On the 7-day backup, the red lights are on over at the 1400 standby. Set to go. And the gates fly back, level dispatch from the 1400 metres. Now, breaking the line first was the Chestnut Minor Detail, pushing forward together with Jared Joseph. Talk About You settles down a clear third, being followed on the outside by Arcadia Jewel, just given time to find her feet. A further 2 lengths then to Vancouver Lad, and settling down at the tail, it's the favourite Fleur Delacour, with 5 lengths covering the field of 6 as they leave the 1,000 metres behind them. It's Minor Detail, the Esperance galloper, who shows the way a neat length, running second Arcadia Jewel, who's improved around the outside. They were followed a break of a length then to Jared Joseph, together with Talk About You to the outside. Then we had Fleur Delacour, who's well back in the run with Vancouver Lad to the outside. So 600 metres to run on the Charles Street side of the course, and it's Minor Detail. They're only paddling up in front. Not too much pace in the middle part of the race. Out by a half a length. Arcadia Jewel to the outside second. Talk About You third. Asked to improve. Jared Joseph sticking to the fence. Now to the outside. Vancouver Lad peels and extricates, starting its run, and then Fleur Delacour is your widest runner. It's Minor Detail showing the way. Arcadia Jewel to the outside. Then we had Talk About You. Fleur Delacour starting to unwind down the outside. It's Talk About You who hit the lead, but here's Fleur Delacour. Favourite punters look to be home. Inside the 50 hits the lead. Fleur Delacour goes on and wins a length. Talk About You second. Vancouver Lad third. The pacemakers, well, they struggled up the straight. Minor Detail and Arcadia Jewel, and last in was Jared Joseph. Number 5, Fleur Delacour. Chris Willis has placed this horse to perfection today. Sends it to Kalgoorlie and cops a small field, just the field of 6. Comes out of that Class 3 in town last start, and on the 8-day backup has gone on to bring up win number 3 at start 21. And Fleur Delacour, a very convincing winner there. Patient ride by Austin Galati, just sat out the back and at the top of the straight, pulled his horse to the extreme outside, and no traffic there, just let him unwind. And Fleur Delacour goes on to bring up win number 3. Second in will be the 4, Talk About You, for Helen Harding and Tash Faithful. 6 gets third, Vancouver Lad for Helen as well, Zeph and Johnston Porter. And at 4th will be the 1, Arcadia Jewel, who has compounded in that final furlong alongside Minor Detail. 5, 4, 6 and 1, the margins are length by a length. But if you're sticking with the favourites today, you've done well. Gluten Free in the first, Fleur Delacour in the second. And that man Chris Willis, who prepares the winner here. He's got the 175 favourite in the next in the form of Right to Silence. But all honours here with Fleur Delacour, who's just coming back over the crossing now. Trained by Chris Willis, ridden by Austin Galati, by Artie Schiller from Mega Jewels, owned by Chris Willis, Nick Willis, Blake Willis, and also Prue George. Fleur Delacour, your winner. Second in was the 4, Talk About You. For Helen Harding, Tash Faithful by I'm on the Talk from Queen of the East, owned by Caitlin Harding. Third in was the 6, Vancouver Lad. For Helen Harding and Zephyr Johnston Porter by Vancouver. From Oradane, owned by Helen herself, Ken Norton, Mrs. V. Thompson, T. Quinn Liven, A. Farhan Smith, and also C. Sullivan. Fourth in was the 1, Arcadia Jewel for Pete Fernie and Jade McNaught. Numbers 5, 4, 6 and 1 after the running of race 2. Race 3 is next, the Terra Drilling Maiden over the 1400 metres. Once again, 2:14 the start time. Field of 7 to go around. Your favourite Right to Silence for Chris Willis and Austin Galati. That pair combining once again at 170 is your favourite, ahead of Flying the Flag at $4.20. That's race 3. It's coming up in 30 minutes' time. In the meantime, interim numbers 5, 4, 6 and 1 after the running of race number 2.